You need to ask yourself this. Would your now partner, in the event of both of your tragic murders, arise from the grave a year later to seek vengeance on your death because they loved you that much? If not, maybe find someone who does. Welcome, and tonight we're doing the 30th anniversary edition of The Crow, as re-released in theaters. Welcome back, and tonight we're doing The Crow for the 30th anniversary edition, as re-released in theaters. It's really exciting for me because the first time it ran in theaters, I wasn't born yet. Candy, if you weren't born yet, why do you care so much? Listen, my mother was fucking cool in 1994. Don't ask me why that's related. But let's just say I got very dressed up tonight. I love a theme. And I bought myself a snack. But anyways, let's get into it. So, the night before Halloween in this particular city is called Devil's Night. It's also known as Hell Night. That is the night before Halloween where fucking chaos ensues. And, like, buildings burn down, and people toilet paper trees, and apparently murder. Well, there was this couple in this apartment, and they were filing for something or another. But a gang got in, and they pushed him out of a 4-story window and killed him. His name is Eric. And then a girl named Shelly was unfortunately hard-R'd and stabbed to death. Except she was still alive when the police got there, and they took her to the hospital, and she survived like another 30 hours, but then she died. So a year later, Eric rises from the dead thanks to a raven, because in mythology, ravens take your soul to the afterlife. However, if you have a lot of grief or a lot of upset or a lot of questions, you take that with you, but sometimes the crows can bring you back. And that's what it did. So then he gets all dressed up in some leather pants and a mesh shirt, which, it's a cute look. However, if I have to go on a murder spree and I have to, like, climb up buildings and do all this other stuff, I don't know if I would choose leather pants. Like, the ball sweat would be ungodly. Not that I would know, but where was I going with this? Yes, and then he does, like, the Harlequin face makeup. And then he's chasing down members of this gang that went in and, you know, murdered his girlfriend slash fiance, because they were actually supposed to get married the next day. And he's also checking in on the little girl they used to take care of. It's not their little girl, but, like, her mom's kind of not great, which he fixes too. But yeah, it's the whole night he's, like, going looking for, like, the gang members and, like, killing them. And then, like, the head guy who causes all this, because it's his gang that's, like, lighting all the fires and shit around town on Hell Night. Well, firstly, he's fucking his own sister. Like, him and his sister are fucking, and for some odd reason, they like to kill people and take their eyes, and then they burn them and, like, inhale the vapors. But they also do a lot of pure Colombian Bam Bam. But he's in charge, and then the Crow's gotta kill him. And that's pretty much it. It's just a whole big vengeance story. Now, did I like it? Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love the dark aesthetic. I love the music, because it's literally in, like, the top 4 greatest soundtracks of all time. The cast is great. You have Brandon Lee, who was the son of martial artist Bruce Lee, Ernie Hudson from Ghostbusters, and Tony Todd, you know, Candyman himself. Now, unfortunately, this movie does not come without some tragedy, and I'm gonna talk about that now. So what happened during production was Brandon Lee was filming a scene that was a gunfight. And something happened right beforehand. Part of it, from what I was reading online, was a little bit of negligence on the set side. And then, unfortunately, it was also just kind of a freak accident where Brandon Lee was hit by a blank in one of the prop guns. But he was standing so close, it may as well have been a real bullet. He was hit in the abdomen. They called cut. Nobody realized that he was, like, kind of faking, or that he had actually been hit until he didn't get up. Unfortunately, he died, I think, on the way to the hospital or at the hospital. So yes, at 27 or 28 years old, he passed away before the end of filming. Now, a very interesting thing about this is that to finish up the movie, they did something kind of like they did with Paul Walker and his brother when Paul Walker passed away. They used Brandon Lee's stunt double to finish the movie. And his stunt double is a man named Chad Stahelski. If you know the name Chad Stahelski, he is the director of the John Wick films. So yes, the director of the John Wick franchise was Brandon Lee's stunt double and finished The Crow. And that's probably one of the most interesting pieces of cinema trivia for you. Now, obviously, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10 because everything about this I love. This also leads me to a parallel thought. So, if you haven't heard yet, they are currently filming and will be releasing The Crow, like, reboot, remake, what have you, this year. Now, the new one has one of the Skarsgård brothers. I want to say it's Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven this time. I'm trying like hell to be unbiased, and I'm trying like hell to go into it being okay, but I have this little feeling in the back of my head that this is going to be really, really, really bad. And someone brought up a good point, because The Crow is based off an entire, like, comic series, into which there are multiple stories that they could have used, so we don't understand as to why they had to redo this one as opposed to just taking another story. And I've seen the preview, and I've seen the pictures, and something... I'm gonna do my best, like I said, to remain unbiased about the new one. However, if it's bad, I will probably not shut the fuck up. Much like I never do. So obviously this one gets a 10 out of 10 for me. Okay, bye.